He slept in your city, he walked your streets, and for over 40 years you didn't know his face. 12 murders, 45 rapes, 11 counties, 1 man. They called him the Visalia Ransacker, the East Area Rapist, the original Night Stalker. But the world would come to know him by one final name, the Golden State Killer. It started quietly, break-ins, ransacked bedrooms, missing keepsakes. Then in 1975, a professor named Claude Snelling was shot dead in front of his own daughter. It was only the beginning. By 1976, a new predator was moving through Sacramento at night. He studied his victims. He learned their routines. He waited in the dark, sometimes for hours, before stepping inside. He tied up the men, he terrorized the women, and then he vanished into the night every single time. For 3 years, he attacked more than 40 times. Northern California lived in fear behind locked doors and loaded shotguns. Then, without warning, he moved south, and the attacks turned into something worse. Between 1979 and 1986, at least 10 people were murdered in their own homes. Couples, families, people who thought they were safe behind their own front doors. Detectives suspected a connection, but for over 20 years they couldn't prove it. The years turned into decades. Evidence sat in storage. Victims grew older, still waiting for a name. In 2001, DNA finally confirmed the darkest fear of investigators. The East Area Rapist and the original Night Stalker were the same man. One killer, 2 decades of terror, still no face. A true crime writer named Michelle McNamara became obsessed with finding him. She gave him the name history would remember, the Golden State Killer. She never lived to see him caught. Then, in April 2018, something changed. Investigators tried a method no one had used before in a case like this. They took his DNA left behind decades earlier and uploaded it to a public genealogy database, not to find him directly, but to find his family. Branch by branch, they built his family tree, age, location, background. The circle grew smaller and smaller until only one man was left. On April 24, 2018, police surrounded a quiet home in Citrus Heights, California. Inside was a 72-year-old man, a former police officer, a husband, a father, a grandfather. His name was Joseph James D'Angelo. He did not run. He did not fight. He simply stepped outside, and the hunt that lasted over 40 years was finally over. In June 2020, D'Angelo stood in court and said one word again and again: guilty. 13 murders, 61 additional victims, 11 counties confronted by decades of pain in a single room. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. For over 4 decades, Joseph D'Angelo lived an ordinary life. A neighbor, a co-worker, a face no one suspected. He mowed his lawn. He went to work. He raised a family, while the terror he caused sat frozen in cold case files, waiting. And that is the question this case leaves behind, long after the sentence was read. How many more names like his are still out there, hiding in plain sight right now?